Jonathan, do you wanna kick us off and we'll get rolling?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get started. I'm looking forward to it. So just grab that. Make sure I present the right screen. Here we go. Fantastic. So thank you everyone for joining us today. It's like Phil said, it's amazing to have such a reach of people, and it's really nice to see so many people here today joining our TDX Global Gathering. So for those of you who didn't have chance to watch TDX virtually or just want to catch up on some of the cool bits, we're going to go through some of our favorite bits as well as some of the more interesting bits. We've got some live demos, so it's pretty exciting. So let's have a look. So as always, Salesforce is a publicly traded company. So if you are making any purchasing decisions, you make them based on public products and services available today. So going forward, what have we got for you today? We have got about our region. So as many of you may or may not know, the user groups within the North of England have come together and are in one chatter group. So Barry is going to go into a bit of detail and explain what happened there and why we're doing it and what we're hoping to achieve in the North of England. Claudia is going to be talking a little bit to you guys about the Women in Tech group that has now started up in Newcastle. So that's very exciting. We've then got a demo on Salesforce Anywhere, which is a particularly exciting product announced at TDX from Loic here, who is at Salesforce and is an SMA solution engineer on it. We're going to have a demonstration, bit of chat about JavaScript Developer 1, a really exciting certification for those of you who are developers from Paul. And then we have some really nice hints and tips and exciting bits and bobs that our other group leaders here have spotted that they want to share. So we've got lightning reports from Claire and dynamic forms from Luke. Now, today's TDX Global Gathering wouldn't have been possible without the Northern user groups. So in case you aren't aware of who is part of these groups, we have Paul and Vincenzo, who are the Leeds Developer Group leaders. We've got myself, who's the Leeds Admin Group leader. We've got Phil, Matthew, Ben, and Claire, who are the Manchester Admin Group leaders. We've got Barry and Spencer, who are the Chester Admin Group leaders. We've got Mark and Luke, who are the Newcastle Admin Group leaders. And we've also got Claudia, who's the Newcastle Women in Tech Group leader. So thank you to all of these people here. This is a big joint event, and I am so excited that you all are here and are part of this. So without further ado, our special guest today from Salesforce, SME in Salesforce Anywhere, solution engineer. So we are really privileged that Loic here has volunteered himself to spare his time to show you guys a bit of a demo and information on Salesforce Anywhere. Without diving straight into the demos and our speakers, it's always tradition to say thank you to everyone. So it is a thank you to everyone here, not just the group leaders who have helped put together this event today, but everyone here who's RSVP'd and joined, because without you guys, it couldn't have been possible. So thank you everyone here for joining us today. Now, before we do get started, equality is a massive thing within the workplace, and especially so today's day and age, and especially with things that have happened recently in the world. How to become an ally, what matters most, and who has unconscious bias. There is a great trail mix there. If you head to sforce.co/work and make sure the work is in capitals, there is a fantastic trail mix that is worthwhile doing for everyone, just to have that in the back of your mind, a bit of knowledge, just to keep that at the forefront of your mind when you're making decisions and in day-to-day life, both personal and professional. So without further ado, I am going to hand over to Barry Roberts.
Thank you very much indeed, sir. So if we can go to the first slide for me. Perfect. So as you all know, we've got now several groups within the beautiful North. Obviously from Manchester, our original founding group, I think now, Phil, you're 7, 8 years old, to obviously our newest one today, which is our Newcastle WIT group. So what we've been working on closely is we're all aware of, we're all part of the North, and we wanted to group all of them into one place for our online chat. So as you can hear, our URL. So we've now got our new Northern users group. We are still keeping all our separate groups separate for in-person visits and all our Beverly accounts and keeping them all. But we wanted to treat them all as the North and keep the South, and really keep that divide there and bring it through. And obviously, if there's a few members in here, we're always looking to expand. Obviously, we covered the M62 corridor nice, and now up to the A1 as well. So you can go to the next one for us, please. Perfect. So why have we grouped all the groups into the one chatter group? Mainly because, one, it's a single place for all conversations. One of the things we've looked at as a group, if you're a dev working in a non-profit and a female, you then have to post any questions within 3 groups. And it's a smaller audience. So what we wanted to do is share the wealth of experience we've all got. As many of you are, we're members of several groups, and we all love on a Sunday receiving several emails, one from every group. So again, what we're going to do is filter that down. So you'll see the one email on a Sunday from all the user groups together in the North and share it. Again, we've got a wider point of support and collaboration. We're including obviously our non-profit specialists, our dev teams, our admins, and our consultants. So now we can share best win and really support the community as well as all yourselves who attend the group to really do it. And to give what I class that true Northern community. We're more of a sharing generation, and we come through. And like I said, we're still going to have our locally held events. These also will be populated in our new Master Northern group. So you will be able to see what's going on in all the events, see which speakers are attending, which some of the sponsors and some of the partners that are joining. So again, to really open it up so you can see everything that's going on and really learn. So we've put there again for you. These will be shared out on obviously the original URL for all the groups. So hopefully we'll start to see you all joining the new group. I'm really looking forward to chatting on with you there. Any questions at all, just while we hand over about the new format for the groups? Look at that, we like that. So thank you very much. And I say I'm going to pass you over now to our newest user group leader.
Claudia, are you there? Would you like to explain the...
I'm just waiting for my slide to click over so we can see a beautiful picture of the Tyne Bridge and remind us what a wonderful place we all live. Even those in Manchester, you know, you're still in a beautiful city. So it's great to be part of this Northern powerhouse, our very own Northern powerhouse of Salesforce. And as the newest kids on the block, I wanted to spend a couple of minutes just telling you all about the Women in Tech group that we're starting up here. We've kind of said it's Newcastle upon Tyne. In reality, it's a Northern group. It's for everyone in the North. And of course, I'm sure that most people in this group, as Jonathan pointed out early on, you know, diversity and inclusion is a big part of what Salesforce is all about. And it's one of the reasons why a lot of us are here. And not only is it great tech that we work with, but we also, you know, support the culture and the ethos of Salesforce. And Women in Tech is a great way for women, allies, and that also includes gender non-binary individuals who are part of the Salesforce ecosystem across the North. It's a great way for us to come together and support each other, especially support bringing more diversity into the Salesforce ecosystem in the North. As I'm sure everyone on this call knows, there are not enough people working in the Salesforce ecosystem. We need more. And the reason why we want to encourage more women into this ecosystem is that, you know, we want to stop just pulling from a pool of 50% of the population in terms of Salesforce talent. We want to widen that group and include everybody, especially women, because Salesforce is a great place for women to build a really fascinating and fulfilling career. So these are the reasons why I started this group, and this really is a sales pitch. Every single person on this call, whether you're a woman, gender non-binary, or an ally, I would love you to join our group and be part of you know, spreading the word across the northeast of England. And if you can advance my slides, sorry, the northeast and northwest and north generally. And if we can just go to the next slide. It's just really outlining some of the aims and objectives of the group. So really we're here to help women get into these great, fabulous careers that we all have here in the Salesforce ecosystem. Personally, I work at Turnitin. We're a software company. We use Salesforce extensively. I'm always struggling to find great Salesforce talent here in the Northeast. And, you know, it'd be even better if we could find more female talent here in the Northeast. So this group is coming together to support women, whatever kind of place they're coming from, whether they're career returners, whether they're leaving education, whether they're just looking for a career change. We're here to support and open the door for more people to get into the Salesforce ecosystem. So not only join the group yourself, tell a friend, bring a family member. You know, whether people are working in Salesforce at the moment, it's a great place to be. You know that because you're all here. So spread the word and get more people joining our group so we can support them into these great careers. Any questions? Stunned silence. Thank you so much, everyone, for letting me do that. That's that really quick sales pitch. I look forward to seeing a lot of you joining us in the near future. And thanks, Jonathan.
Thank you. That's amazing, and it's so nice to have a Women in Tech group up north. So thank you very much. So on to the main show now. We have got some great content for you, and how better to kick that content off with our SME himself demoing Salesforce Anywhere. Are you there?
Yes, I am. I'm here.
Fantastic. So I am terrible at pronunciation, so not only are you going to be able to give us a Salesforce Anywhere demo, you can definitely teach me how to pronounce your name properly. What I'm going to do is stop sharing, and you will be able to take the hot seat and give us a demo and explanation about Salesforce Anywhere. So thank you very much for taking your time out of your day, and welcome to the North England user groups.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you to having me. So thank you for the invitation. I will start to share my screen, and I will do a small presentation of Salesforce Anywhere. So first of all, I want to be sure the sound is good. Jonathan, yeah? Everything's good?
Maybe not the sun, but yeah, everything else is good enough.
Okay, it's good enough. I will be slow in my, it's far, I am in Belgium right now, and can you see my screen all?
Yes. We can indeed.
Okay, great. So I will take the next 20 minutes to introduce you a Salesforce Anywhere, but mainly also with demos, really cool demos that I have done internally, but also for some customers. So I'm very thrilled to be here. Thanks for the invitation. It's my first time that I am in connect with a Salesforce community, so it's really good to see outside Salesforce how is the vibe, how is the Ohana. So I'm Loic. So Loic is the pronunciation. It's a French name. So Loic Van Damme. I am a solution engineer at Salesforce. And please, if you have any questions afterwards on Salesforce Anywhere or anything else, just connect with me, and you can send me an email anytime on ldam@salesforce.com. I am a co-solution engineer, so I am helping the account executive with discovery and demo. But my main thing is around collaboration, employee engagement. I am one, for example, I am a black belt on MyTrailhead. Black belt is really cool things for solution engineer. It's where we can expertise a little bit ourselves. So Salesforce Anywhere, I am very thrilled about that. I love it because it's all about this new way of working. So what is Salesforce Anywhere? as you may know, we have a roadmap internally at Salesforce, and what we are pushing to our customers, a roadmap in order to respond to this COVID-19 crisis. The first step for your company was about stabilizing, and we provide you Salesforce Care for that, for answering this first step about stabilizing in this crisis. Then now we are fully on board with work.com, helping your companies to reopen your workplace. And the next step will be about to grow your business within this new normal, this new world, where everyone will be able to work from anywhere. Not work from home, work from anywhere. And this is why we want to provide a set of different solutions, different technologies with Salesforce Anywhere. We introduce Salesforce Anywhere on TrailheaDX, and the general availability of the different products will be from now to Dreamforce. But Salesforce Anywhere is really a set of products to reframe a customer 360-degree view, where you will be able now to connect with your customers from anywhere. You will be able to sell from anywhere, to upskill from anywhere, to collaborate from anywhere. And Salesforce Anywhere is a set of products. There is a confusion sometimes between Salesforce Anywhere and Salesforce Anywhere app. Salesforce Anywhere app is one of the main products within this set of product innovations that are divided in 5 different pillars. First, CRM, you will be able to sell, service, market from anywhere, collaborate from anywhere, work from anywhere, you will be able to visualize data from anywhere, and skill up from anywhere. Today, I will present you a short demo around Salesforce Anywhere app that will be empower you to collaborate from anywhere, and the in-app learning, where you will be able to skill up from anywhere. That are the 2 things that I really like it, that I'm the most exciting with this new Salesforce Anywhere. So first, Salesforce Anywhere app. The beta just started with TrailheaDX, and you will be able to collaborate, to take action, and to stay up to speed from anywhere. So let's jump directly on the demo. So I am a solution engineer covering Africa, and I will start my day by opening my new Salesforce Anywhere app, just next to my Quip applications from my smartphone. I will open it, and the very first thing that I will be able to see, it's my alerts. Just here, I will have all of the different alerts that I should be notified in my night, for example. So here I can see that I have a new opportunity in SBTP that was added in the French Africa opportunities. This is my market, and this is a new opportunity that just was created. I will be able, so I am alerted, and I will be able to open it in order to have some visibility on it and to check who is my account executive that I need to help. I can start a conversation directly with my account executive right from the records, and I will be able. I am also able to share this opportunity with anyone or any teams with this in-app collaboration. So, for example, the Grate team here, I can just select them and send to them with kind message. So all of these alerts management, it's really cool because now I'm always notified when there's an update that matter for me in Salesforce platform. I can manage those here. I can see all of my existing subscriptions, and I can also see all of the suggested subscriptions. I can subscribe to any updates on any field in any records within Salesforce. It's pretty cool, and now I am alerted. Every time that something important happened and that I should matter. So that is the first feature in Salesforce Anywhere app, this alert management. I have just spoke about this collaboration in-app. I can start a conversation in one-to-one conversation or one-to-many conversation from any records. Here, just have a look of one of a group conversation that I have with my colleagues. Here, this is an opportunity that they have shared with them. They can open it, see it, and they can also start to get some alerts about this new opportunity. So here I have this opportunity within Salesforce, and I can manage alerts and set alerts on any fields with this opportunity. But more than that, any related list from this opportunity. So every time that the cases will be open, any time that there's something related to the opportunities, or maybe for me as a solution engineer, anytime that the deal support request is created from this opportunity. It's quite cool. I can collaborate and start any conversations and get alerts from any record in Salesforce. If a conversation is too annoyed for me, I can also manage my subscription to these conversations thanks to the notification settings. So I can also notify, be notified only when I am mentioned, or just no notification at all. That will help me to collaborate with my colleagues from anywhere. Also, I can search here from any records in Salesforce. So I can open it and again start a conversation from this one, get alerts, etc. But more than that, I can also update this record from my application in a seamless and user experience way. So me as a solution engineer, I do a lot of comments. I am able now to update this opportunity and update my SC comments right from the opportunity. So for example, all goods, and just save and it's done. So three main things here. It's about the management subscriptions, so you can have alerts on any field that matter for you. You can collaborate and have meaningful communications starting from any records in Salesforce. And finally, I can also have multiple different actions based on my role. So I am solution engineer, so those are the actions made for me. But my colleague, an account executive colleague, will have different recommendations of actions. And this is how I will be able to first be very fast in my collaboration, in my work, but also I will be able to collaborate in a safe way. Because usually what you are doing now, you are doing a screenshot of your opportunity and maybe you go in Google Chat to share that. Now you will be able to really share your opportunity and your Salesforce information in-app. And if Pia do not have the visibility on this opportunity, she will still see the conversation, but she will not have access to this opportunity. It's great to have everything in one platform and all of the information saved in one platform. Everything that you have seen in app within the smartphone will be exactly the same in the desktop platform. So you will be able to start a conversation, a one-to-one conversation, a one-to-many conversation, right from any records, and you will be able to set alerts from any records within the platform. And this is just the beta. So what I have shown you here, the three different features that I have shown you, it's only the beta. There is much more that is coming thanks to the Salesforce Anywhere. So what we have seen together, the real-time chat, real-time alerts, and instant actions. Soon you will have instant notes, streaming voice and video. You will be able to start video from your conversations in-app from the Salesforce platform, but also presence and sharing, record and field commenting, and field and record history. Just let's have a look of these three new features that you will have on. So here you can see I am in a quote, and I have Lauren and so bad visibility, sorry, but Lauren and someone else. Wow, 1089. Voilà, so you have Lauren, so it's a quote. You have Lauren and Kyle who is walking in a quote. Here, so what you have not seen, sorry. So first of all, Lauren here in the field, in this installation service field, the sales price, and she will see all of the update and the history about this field. But also, like you have with Quip, she will be able to start a conversation and to comment with a team right from a field. It's massive. She will be able to say Carl is also an opportunity. And more than that, she will be able also to update a field. And based on that, thanks to Process Builder, she will be able to start a message with the reviewers. So like a template. Who made us and which type of message made us. She will just click on send message and then automatically send this message to the three guys in the in-app collaboration and communication tool. So just here. From, again, the quotes. It's massively in terms of collaboration, in-app collaboration. The presence and sharing, the record and field commenting, and the field and record history. What about the streaming voice and video? Here you can see that from my Salesforce platform, I will be able to start the conversations, and right from the conversation, I will be able to start a video directly from the conversations with the 3 people. So like that, fast, you can quickly have an update on an opportunity in a face-to-face basis. This is how you will be able to collaborate from anywhere. So about the roadmap, so it will be generally available in Dreamforce. And now we are in August, and we have a lot of enablement from your AEs, your SEs. For the next 2 months, a lot of enablements will be internally. So please just contact your AEs or SEs if you want to know more about this Salesforce Anywhere app. And you can join the beta. The beta already has begun, so just connect with your AE. This is the link to sign up. It's an open beta version. So if you have any questions on setup, also you have like a lot of information. So it's really cool. I love it. And so you can have like the Salesforce Anywhere app right now with these 3 new features. So that was the collaborate from anywhere. Now let's deep dive a little bit on skill up from anywhere. Also a new feature that was released 2 weeks ago. It's about the walkthrough, the in-app guidance with walkthrough. So let's deep dive on a short demo. Now, let's say that I am one of your sales users. It is the very first day that I have access to Salesforce. I do not know nothing here. It's very empty in terms of data. It's a little bit of Chinese for me. I do not understand all of those tabs. Since 2 weeks ago, thanks to walkthrough, I will be able to start a journey, an onboarding journey, a learning journey, right from my home tab. So here it's about your content, but obviously you can leverage all of our free content in order to help your Salesforce user. So from the home tab, I will start the journey. I have a video. I can check the video in app here. I can click on it, see everything here. Then I will click on next. It will automatically open the opportunities tab. Here I can see my recently viewed. And I will have like some information here, step 2. Then next, and it will open an opportunity. And right here, I have like some information provided from my company again. Every time I will be able to dismiss a bubble or click on next. And you as a company will be able to have visibility on that on the adoption of your walkthrough journey. It's great for the Salesforce adoption. Anytime that you have a new feature, a new custom object, etc., that will help you to increase the adoption. It's massive. Here I have some information on the success path. And if I want to move things around and start to work, etc., it is possible. Then I will click on next, and I will have some information around the details. And finally, the last step, it's about a call to actions with any external link. So here it's a link on the TrailMix with my Trailhead, so I can learn more, upskill myself around opportunity management. And then I can just finish it. You as a company or Salesforce admin, you will be able to visualize those engagement with the workflow piece. It's an out-of-the-box dashboard, free, available on App Exchange, thanks to the Salesforce Labs. The guy who built that is really, really cool, by the way. So workflow engagement, and you have like a lot of information here. For example, the adoption rate of your workflow journey by workflow journey. Yeah, a lot of different informations. It's out of the box. It's really cool. For example, the actions, the call to action rates of clicking, etc. So this is walkthrough, another feature from Salesforce Anywhere. Just a little bit about the roadmap. So today, walkthrough is available on desktop, and soon, for next year, it will be walkthrough will be available on mobile app, but also the communities. Also, what I really like is the targeted prompts. So soon you will be able to point a field, for example, and start a prompt directly from a field. So a lot of things it's coming with walkthrough, with Salesforce Anywhere app. And keep in mind that all of that are part of what we call Salesforce Anywhere that will help you and your company to work from anywhere. It's massive, and thank you so much for your attention. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask me afterwards. Again, eldam@salesforce.com. I'm really open to any questions.
Pricing. Hi.
Yeah.
Pricing.
At pricing, so for the walkthrough, because it's general available, so walkthrough is included in my Trailhead license.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I know, but I'm talking about the Anywhere.
Yeah, so the Salesforce Anywhere app today, the beta version is free, and the pricing it's not yet available yet. We do not know. They are working on it this month in August, so we will have much more information around Dreamforce. But we are not aware yet about the pricing of Salesforce Anywhere app. Salesforce Anywhere app.
Thank you.
I have a little question, if that's okay, if I can ask it now really quick.
Yeah.
You mentioned the chat feature being similar to Quip. Is if you purchase Salesforce Anywhere, do you need to have Quip as well? Does it piggyback off Quip?
So what I know for the licenses, what I know for sure is that some of them will be for included in any CRM licenses or platform licenses. So I think it's the similar features than the beta. It will be free of charge. But I'm not sure about if it will be like Salesforce Anywhere included in Quip licenses, the full Salesforce Anywhere capabilities, or if it will be like a standalone product. I'm not sure, we do not yet know because the product team and the pricing team is working on the right price. What I am sure is that it's the Quip team who have built the Salesforce Anywhere app. It's for that it's very similar in terms of technology. It's actually Quip, a layout of Quip in the Salesforce platform. It's really cool what they have done. It's a great example of why we acquire such good technology and such great team.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much. Whilst I'm sharing, I can't see any chat window. So unless there's any other questions, is there any other questions? Can anyone see?
No, nothing that I can see in the chat.
Fantastic. No worries. Fantastic. Well, thank you very much for that demo on Salesforce Anywhere. Personally, I really enjoyed that, and it made me excited for what's coming at Dreamforce. And I'm sure, speaking on behalf of everyone here, they all found that very interesting as well. I saw a lot of smiles and a lot of inquisitive looks as well on the camera, so that's fantastic. So thank you very much for taking the time and demoing that to us.
Thanks, Loic.
So up next, we have Paul Battisson. So Paul is going to give us a tour of the new certification JavaScript Developer 1, which if you're a developer here on this call today, I'm sure you're really excited and want to get stuck into it. And I'm sure many of you maybe even sat the beta earlier on in the year. So without further ado, Paul, over to you.
Cheers, thank you. All right, let's make sure we're getting the right desktop. Having to hide my thousands of web tabs that people get very upset by. Right, so yeah, evening everyone. Thank you all for coming here, and yeah, it's really good to see such a big group together. I think I started what was the North of England developer group like about 6 months after Phil started the user one, maybe something like that. And yeah, 6.5, 7, probably closer to 8 years now of seeing more and more people in the North. I think there's been a number of times it's just been me and Phil at events, so it's good that we're not just sat by ourselves anymore. Although people might want us to sit by ourselves, that's a separate thing. So in this session today, we're going to talk through jump through a bit too quick, about the JavaScript Developer 1 certification. For those who don't know about me, I did this for another group, so some of this is going to be repeat material. I work for Cloud Galacticos. I'm the COO there. I hold 14 certifications, including the JavaScript Developer 1. So I actually have passed this. Salesforce MVP, you can find me on Twitter and LinkedIn and places. But most important for this talk, I am a Salesforce certified instructor. And I know that Claire is also on the call, is also a certified instructor, and a few others as well. So what I'm going to share is a little bit of an instructor's view of how to pass this, as well as some general tips around the exam and how to get through it. So every good slide deck has a terrible quote. This one is no different. So I like this quote from Sun Tzu because it's how I approach taking the exams, and I would really recommend you think about doing it in the same way. The exam, you are not meant to get 100%. You are meant to be able to pass the exam and do really well and understand things, but you're going to Google stuff, right? That's how all of us work. That's how I do my development. I've been a coder for about 17, 18 years now, and I still go onto Stack Overflow every day to figure out why I'm breaking something. And so what you need to do is when you're looking at an exam and looking at a certification, understand what is in there and how to attack it best, and understand where your weak spots are to get the most points. So with that, let's go through what the certification entails and how you can do so. So JavaScript development is a really exciting and sexy topic. So there will be lots of cartoons and pictures all the way through. If you find the jokes funny, great. That means you're probably going to be good to look at the target audience. If you just like the pictures, that's also good too. So this is really targeted at developers who have got a good working knowledge of JavaScript, particularly those working with Lightning Web Components. So Lightning Web Components are obviously the hot new thing that everyone should be using and should be working with. And Lightning Web Components are all just standard JavaScript. So this isn't a test to make sure that you know any of the other super sexy frameworks. This is a Salesforce exam focused on Salesforce technology. So yeah, a good working knowledge of JavaScript is going to be key. That does mean knowing a little bit more than jQuery. It means actually understanding how the language works. I'll be honest, when they announced this exam, I was wondering what we were going to get, but I've been pleasantly surprised at how well they've covered the language in detail rather than just the Salesforce features of it, or the features that Salesforce use. It's a bit like the PD2, for those who have taken that, where there is a super badge and an exam. So the super badge will cover at the end, but the multiple choice exam is just like any of the other exams that we all know and love. It's 60 questions or 60 scored questions. This one is slightly different. At the moment, they have 5 unscored questions. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure they're always the last 5, but no one has yet confirmed that to me. So take the last 5 serious. Don't get to them and be like, these are the throwaway ones. 5 of them are going to be used just to kind of test for future ones. You get to take it using Web Assessor, which everyone loves Web Assessor, right? That's everyone's favorite tool. Literally the greatest piece of software ever written, never causes anyone any problems. And it's got a 65% passing score, which is 39. So again, from the start, whenever you're taking an exam, find out how many questions, find out how many points you need to get, because that'll help you work through it. No prerequisites here, and it is one of the $200 exams, so one of the cheaper ones. I apologize for the colors on this chart, but PowerPoint would not give me any colors that would let you see both the numbers and the color. So we have what I can only describe as a sad trailblazer sort of color, kind of. It's not very nice. Big areas here, as you can see, are these 3 kind of in the bottom, on the right and around the bottom right. If you get those, you've basically passed the exam. Okay. So you're going to be, so the first big area is kind of variables, types, and collections. That's one of these real big parts here. If you have a look, that's I think 23% of the exam. Get this one down and you've got it. It's going to ask you how to use let, const, and var. Going to ask you about typing in JavaScript and type coercion, and working with arrays. This is a mixed group, so I won't dive too much into these slides in detail. This is being recorded and we can share them as well for anyone who wants them afterwards. But if you can understand why the picture on the right hand side A works and B is amusing, then you've got this section of the course covered. Okay. The next big area is objects, functions, and classes. JavaScript is an object-oriented language with many things in it that do not act like objects all the way through. And that's why people get headaches. But you're going to get implementation scenarios. So if you've done the Platform Developer 2 exam, you'll be familiar with them giving you a bit of code and saying, what happens? Does it pass? Does it work? What error do you get? And sometimes the answer is it's perfect. More often than not, there's an error and you have to think through it. So be this area in particular, they're going to ask you to look at code and say what's happening and why. So be very comfortable with those areas of the JavaScript language and know how to implement in the different scenarios they give you. It is Salesforce's view on these best scenarios. So as with every Salesforce exam, bear in mind that they are Salesforce's views of what the correct answer should be in those situations. And you'll find that as you get onto more of the architect's exams as well. Browser and events, everyone here has used a web browser, I'm hoping. If not, Salesforce is really not the platform for you. But it's how to work with the web browser, how to use the APIs in there. You'll get to use the browser developer tools, which if you show them to people that don't know what they are, they'll think you're a hacker. And anyone who's ever watched any of those scam baiting videos or seen some of the scammers try and do it, that's all they're using to change your web page. So yeah, you'll get to learn a little bit about how that works. Debugging and error handling, big things. Figuring out why something's broken. I often say that being a developer is like, being a detective in a murder mystery where you are both the murderer, the detective, and the victim. And so this is trying to help you figure that out. Asynchronous programming, again, JavaScript has special asynchronous nuances that it's added in over the years. I like the poetry on the right. It's very important when you start working with APIs. Everyone wants their apps connected to different things nowadays, so this is going to be a key thing for you as well. Server-side testing and server-side JavaScript. Node.js really is the server-side script. This is really focused on the Heroku side of JavaScript. So this exam is not just for Salesforce, kind of core Salesforce developers on the platform, it's also for those working with Heroku. And then finally, testing, which is everyone's favorite topic and the most important thing, what everyone spends lots and lots of time doing because they all know how important it is. You're not going to go into detailed levels of testing, but you are going to get to know whether it's been effective or not, whether something's passing or failing, okay? So I understand that's a bit of a whistle-stop tour. This was a 40-minute deck I'm doing in 20, so if you have any questions around this or want to find out more later, you can find me on one of the many channels. I've got a unique enough name that I'm not hard to spot, or sign up for the Leeds Dev group. So some resources to help you be successful with the exam. Number one is the Trailhead Trail study for the JavaScript Developer 1 exam. Unsurprisingly, that's going to help out pretty much. There is a new course that Salesforce have released called CRT 600, which is a one-day certification preparation course. I do the one for Platform Developer 1. Claire, I think you do the one for the admin one, an app builder, right? They're really good one-day sessions where you just go through, this is everything in the exam. That kind of thing we've just done there, of going through all the sections. You spend an entire day doing it with someone, going through line by line exactly what could be in the exam. So really worthwhile looking at. And then there's a set of books here at the bottom called You Don't Know JS. Best books on JavaScript ever written. You can get them for free if you want online, or you can be like me and get print copies because you like to write notes all over them. And then the Mozilla Developer Network's also fantastic. There's also a possibility later this year that Salesforce will also be doing Salesforce have a Lightning Web Components developer course, so DEX 602. So it's a 5-day course with an instructor leading you through everything to do with Lightning Web Components. Really worthwhile. I believe they're going to also be doing a Trailhead virtual bootcamp, which is a stripped down version of that, but I'll mention those boot camps at the end. And then on to the Super Badge, which is the second half of this. This is a toughie, this Super Badge. So I agreed to do this talk for the Bulgaria developer group's Trailhead Global Gathering. And about 4 weeks before that, I passed the exam and I thought, 4 weeks, it's only a few Trailhead badges, easy, absolutely breeze through this. And it did take me, about a couple of hours, maybe half a day to do do the tidy up I needed for the 4 prerequisite badges, and then I got started on the super badge. And this super badge is genuinely a beast. So my first bit of advice is, if you try doing this super badge, do not go into it like I did and think I can probably knock this out in, like, I give Lightning Web Component training courses. I foolishly thought that I should therefore be able to knock through this in about half a day to a day. You're not going to be able to do that. It is a really detailed bit of work. So give yourself some time to do it. I know a bunch of other instructors that have taken 2 or 3 days to do this, like just solidly sitting down for 8 hours a day. So it's going to take some time. You need to focus on it. You're basically building out an app that is for you to view some boats. It's one of the standard Trailblazer. I think it's How We Roll, or no, it's Friendships, this one, because who doesn't love a good pun? Yeah, I can see your face on that one, Claire. Friendships. Yep, so you'll get to read that a lot. It does cover everything in detail though. Like we've got a couple of people I was working with recently who were looking at doing more Lightning Web Component stuff, and I really just recommend this if you're not looking at the exam even and just want to go and learn about how to do Lightning Web Components. Do the prerequisites and then do this super badge, because you will cover everything end to end. The wording could be improved upon it. Some of the requirements are single word requirements. It's quite realistic in that case, because a lot of clients like to give 1 word requirements, but not something you want to make sure you're paying attention through it. So I would say start from the top, work through it. Other super badges are a bit more broken out piece by piece, so you kind of have a block of text and then a challenge, then a block of text and then a challenge. This isn't done like that, so I just recommend ignoring the challenges and then doing it and then looking at them last. And so, yeah, I got the certification. I got it 2 days before I was giving this talk, so I had all of the slides prepared, everything going, and not the cert. So I managed to get that one done in time. Before anyone asks, I blacked out the thing because it's one of those things I've been doing for years. I don't think you need to. I had someone ask this the other day. I think it's fine for you to show it. It's just an old school habit I've got. But it really is quite an interesting cert, this one. I wasn't lucky enough to get on the beta exam this year because although I got allowed entrance to it, there's this small coronavirus pandemic. I don't know if anyone else caught this in the news, but it blocked you traveling anywhere, and beta exams have to be done in person. There's also this thing where who knows how many beta exam testing centres there are in the north of England. And by the north of England, I mean Watford and above.
I'd say 0.
If your guess was 1, you were correct. 1 in the entirety of the north, like literally Watford upwards, there is 1 place. And they had one slot available over a 3-month period. So yeah, something that we need to take to the testing and credentialing team. But that's it. So it is a really good exam, really worth having a look at if you are interested in Lightning Web Components and are comfortable with them. The fact it's called Developer 1 tells me there will be a Developer 2, because I can't imagine why they would go for that naming otherwise. I mentioned the Trailhead Virtual Bootcamps. So this is something that I have been made aware of more recently, but the Trailhead Academy team, as part of their push to try and get us certified and trained remotely, have done these virtual boot camps where they're like an on-site training course, but really, really spread out. So I think they take over 6 weeks. And they're doing them at a special rate at the moment for $200. So it's $200 over 6 weeks, and included in that is a certification voucher. So the fiscally smart and aware of you in this group will be going, but Paul, a certification voucher alone is worth $200. I would have to be a fool not to sign up for one of these things and just get the voucher and some expert training from a smart person like yourself or Claire. And that is exactly the right answer to have. So they're currently doing them for Platform Developer 1, for Dex 450, which is the Apex and Visual Force. They're doing them for the App Builder 1 and for the Admin 1 as well. So just Google Trailhead Virtual Bootcamp and sign up for them. They do them. They're going to be doing more of them in the EMEA time zone, but they're also doing them on East Coast at the moment, which works out quite nicely if you want to make it work around your day a bit easier. So that's it. Yeah, definitely have a look at those. If anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to take them. Again, whiz through this a little bit. So if you have any questions or just like a chat through it, P Battisson on Twitter, /Paul Battisson on LinkedIn. For the Bulgaria group, I gave a discount code of 40% off my Astronomical Apex testing course on Udemy, which is a 2-hour deep dive into all things Apex testing, which everyone's favorite topic. It's still open for another, I think, 15 days. So if anyone here wants to grab that as well, they are welcome to. And that is me with 1 minute and 20 seconds to spare, like a pro. Do we have any questions? I need to obviously check the chat.
I haven't seen any questions in the chat other than I actually had a question for you, Paul, about this. It's one that I'm interested in doing myself at some point soon. Would you recommend doing the super badge first, and do you think it's a good way to prepare for the exam, or would you say do the exam first because the super badge takes so long? You might as well do.
I would say that the funny thing about this is that the overlap between the two is really minimal, and I know that sounds odd to say, but the JavaScript exam is really focused on JavaScript, the language, and Lightning Web Components as a framework uses JavaScript, but doesn't use, like, you won't be asked to use some of the things that are on the test in there, as it were, other than just the fact that it's in JavaScript. So if you've worked with Lightning Web Components for a bit, I would say go down the specialist super badge route anyway, first of all, because that will give you a decent covering off of most of the features of the language, and then it's easier to kind of go through and tidy up and decide what it is you don't know. And you can also see then if there's any of these nice cheap virtual boot camps going on for it.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
No worries. Cool. I'll pass back over then. But if anyone, as I say, anyone has any other questions or anything, please feel free to drop me a line, let me know. And look forward to speaking to you all soon.
Fantastic. Thank you very much again for that. It is a very exciting certification. I know a lot of people are very excited to get involved with that and get it. So thank you for sharing your insights on that. It's very useful to know, especially from someone who's done it as well, because I don't think there's that many people who have yet got the certification either. So that's really, really helpful. Now moving on. So we have two of our user group leaders who wanted to share some TDX. First up, we've got Luke. Luke would like to share some information about dynamic forms. So over to you, Luke. Take the spotlight and some cool hints and tips.
Okay, thank you very much, Jonathan. If you just bear with me, guys, I'll just share my screen so I can get the slides that I had in mind. Sharing computer sound, that is good. Okay. Okay, great, let's go. So I'm just going to repeat the thanks that some of the other speakers have issued to everybody here tonight. Thank you for taking the time to join us. It's great to see like minds on the call. And for myself, it wasn't too long ago that I was sort of inspired to join this journey of the user group, attending sort of Jonathan's early sessions in Leeds and also Mark Jones's sessions in Newcastle. So for those that don't know me, my name is Luke Mansfeld. I've recently just joined Mark Jones as co-lead of the Newcastle user group. So we're very excited about trying to grow our presence here and engage with you guys. So what I wanted to talk to you about today was a personal highlight for me coming out of TrailheaDX, related to the new feature that they've launched for dynamic forms and dynamic actions. I prefer when they refer to dynamic forms, for me there we're talking about page layouts. So I tend to relate to it more with dynamic page layouts and dynamic actions. But essentially there's a suite of ability through what they've produced that allows you as an admin or as a declarative developer to do a lot with page customization. So think fields, sections, stages, different visibility criteria, conditions, and logic. And it's really about giving you control of your user experience. Now, before I show you guys just a brief demo on this and continue to talk further, if you haven't seen this functionality yet, it's only available for custom objects today, not standard objects. So that's, I just want to put that out there from the start, and then in case anybody gets too excited and they're not using predominantly custom objects. So it's one thing to bear in mind. So I'm just going to jump into a demo. I've kind of I've sort of paused it at the relevant section, or will pause it at the relevant section. It's only 1 minute 30 seconds long, but I think this is a very good way to show you guys the feature itself. So if you just bear with me, I hope everything works. I give a note on resources to just in the final slide, but if any of you do head to the TrailheaDX demo section, you'll find the dynamic forms in action in the low code tools and builders. Under dynamic actions, so I'm just going to launch this, and if you just bear with me, I'm just going to skip through to the right section that I'm looking for.
Hi there, I'm Shibaragi. I'm an associate product manager on.
Not quite yet. Okay, apologies. Okay, so we're just going to walk through this 1 minute 30 seconds of a quick demo that's just going to compare sort of a standard page layout versus the enhanced page layout that incorporates both the dynamic forms and dynamic actions. So I'll leave this to run, and then I'll catch up with you guys shortly.
Important to you. We're going to solve this pain point. Let's take this page and let's re-envision it with dynamic forms and actions. And we're going to do a side-by-side comparison here. Left is traditional, right is upgraded. And you're going to notice a few differences. What instantly pops out here is the simplicity of the right-hand side. Same information, but it's split up. It's placed appropriately. It's more readable. It's less clutter. Now, this alone is going to make you more efficient as the end user. But what's really interesting here is the logic running the show behind the scenes. Visibility rules. Let me show you a few examples here. When I change status from evaluation to purchase, pay close attention. I'm going to save, and you're going to notice a couple of sections disappear. Only what's relevant remains, the purchasing details. Let's continue on our journey. When the status is manufacturing, manufacturing details appear, everything else vanishes. Now, let's say you move from manufacturing to delivery. Pay close attention to this area on the highlights panel. We're going to save, and you're going to notice a new action called customer follow-up appears on the highlights panel. It doesn't appear too early, it doesn't appear too late, it's just on time exactly when you need it. Let me pause for a second here. This is how we're hitting that value add of efficiency. We're surfacing relevant information at the right place, at the right time, and literally guiding our end users in a step-by-step fashion. Now I bet as an admin, right?
Okay, just let me close this down and just come back into the presentation here. So it might not have seemed so exciting or world-changing for anybody who's on the demo compared to some of the things we saw earlier in relation to Salesforce Anywhere. But I think the ability to better control fields, section layouts, the behavior of different actions based on criteria, I think is really powerful. So I'm aiming this towards admins or declarative developers. And I feel that both of these features for dynamic forms and dynamic actions will definitely save you some time. And I think they've got the potential to improve your administrative efficiency because you're doing more things in one place. Particularly with the dynamic forms, there's a single assignment model. So rather than having your Lightning page and your page layouts, you can control both of these together in a single assignment model. You have the capability to use rules to show and hide fields and sections, which you can refine with criteria-based evaluation. The dynamic forms and dynamic actions, they build upon, or certainly the dynamic forms, they build upon the existing Lightning page layouts that you already have. So you can upgrade what you have today and then start to use this new functionality. And it's much the same with the actions. I think you've got some good capabilities to add, reorder, remove different actions directly within the app builder. So I guess for me personally, why I think this was such of interest, why I was excited when I saw this at TrailheaDX. I work with an org that's got a large number of custom objects, for one. And in terms of our core page layout, where we're capturing most of our input for the data that I'm working with, it contains multiple sections and lots of fields. And I'm sure everybody on the call, you know, I don't need to tell everybody how precious different sort of stakeholders feel about their fields. Nobody wants to give them up. You know, the business has a thirst for information, regardless of the work it takes to manage it. And, you know, everybody potentially has got a field heavy org. We've all seen it. Because of this vast number of fields and sections, I think we have some personal challenges with data integrity. I think some of our users have said that, you know, our layouts are not so intuitive, they get a bit lost, even though we have mandatory fields, you know, they're still what's the key information. And I really think that this function could help. And because for us, again, our core input comes from a number of different places, a number of different user types. So I have to maintain multiple page layouts, profiles, permission sets, field level security. You know, we have to take these core components in different places and really give them some thought over time. And it's quite a lot of administrative burden. And I think most excitingly for me, I want to put information or pertinent information in front of my users at the right place in the right time. I think that's the real key. So for me, for a simple feature, I think it's got tremendous benefit, and I'm confident that I think quickly and declaratively, I think, which is a, you know, I think is a benefit. I can make quite a positive change to user adoption. I really think this will be well adopted. So for me, coming out of TrailheaDX, something small, I think could have a large impact. And I think a lot of people on the call, you know, you could take this and impact quite a bit of change with it. So I'm looking forward to see how this evolves. So I would, you know, in terms of just additional resources, I showed you a clip of the demonstration, but if you head back to the TrailheaDX demo page and go to low code tools and builders, you'll see the dynamic forms and actions, and there's some quite additional good content. And also there's a real good trail mix that's available on Trailhead, the Be an Innovator trail mix. There's quite a bit of content in there related to creating dynamic forms in practice. And I think this would be really useful for everybody too. So pleased to share that with everyone on the call. And thanks again, everybody, for joining. I'll stop sharing my screen now.
Thank you very much, Luke. Dynamic forms have probably got a bit to go yet in terms of development-wise, but I think they're going to become really useful. And I think a lot of people, I know a lot of people raved about them when they first heard them. So yeah, thank you for sharing that insight into them. It's quite an exciting topic. So up next, last but not least, in fact, we've got Claire. So Claire is going to tell us her favorite parts about TDX, which involve Lightning reports. So over to you, Claire. Let's hear what you found interesting, exciting, and useful about Lightning reports from TDX.
Okay, thank you, Luke. I will also just share my screen with you. So just want to check, can you see that screen all right? It's like build reports. I'm not
we can see
those, so I'm taking that as a yes. Okay, so this focuses on a few different features. Oh, and I should introduce myself as well. My name is Claire Ramsteran, and I'm one of the new co-leaders at the Manchester group, or the newer co-leaders. Also, as Paul mentioned, I'm a certified instructor, and I usually teach at ADX 201, which is the foundational admin course. And I hopefully will be teaching my first Trailhead virtual boot camp at the end of this month, but I will find out about that soon. Okay, so this is a quick talk about how you can build reports lightning fast, as they say, in the Lightning Report Builder. And it focused, or the talk in TrailheaDX focused on a few different areas. So the original session was presented by Ankita Dutta and Anusha Surapedi, who are from Salesforce. There's a really good video, probably similar to the video that Luke just showed, but on this session, it's 15 minutes long. And if you go into TrailheaDX and just search for reports. It's the only thing that comes up. So definitely, if you're interested in this area, it's worth checking out. Okay, so the first feature really is about you as an admin, or whoever is building the report, use the report builder, building reports more effectively and efficiently. So the feature they focus on is disabling the preview. So you may be wondering why you would do that. And I'm going to jump into the org very briefly on the next issue. So I'll show you disable preview then. But basically, when you're building a report, as you know, you have a preview open and it updates as you're building it. The problem is, say you were putting in, I don't know, 5 or 6 new fields, you wouldn't necessarily want it to be updating between field 1 and field 2, and then between field 2 and field 3. So what they're suggesting is disable the preview, and then at the end just click refresh, and so you don't waste time in between, and with it updating itself automatically. This is actually turned off by default now, so if you don't want that, you're going to have to switch it back on again. So that is disabling the preview, so a way for you as the person building the report to build that more quickly and efficiently. And then the other features that they focus on, or this row versus summary formulas, that's really to benefit your user. So moving on to the second section, row versus summary formulas. People may be familiar with summary formulas. So what those do is they allow you to calculate a new value based on your report's subtotals. So if you put your data in groups, or the grand total, which could be for the whole report. So the example they look at in the video is they're looking at cases by volume by month. So they said, if you were asked the question, what's the average monthly volume of cases per product? So say it was, you know, a tech company and it was selling microphones and headphones, all the things that we use when we're now working at home. You could see, oh, there are more cases, more problems associated with microphones as opposed to keyboards, for example. So you do a calculation to give you that answer. So that's where you would use a custom summary formula. But the feature that people may be less familiar with because it's newer is row level formulas. So what those do is they help you to understand or compare data for each level of the report. So just to be clear, that is in the report, it will give you information on every single record in that report in this particular formula. So just to show you what that looks like, I'm not really going to build it for you because we're going through this pretty quickly, but I'm just going to show what that would look like to you. Okay, so I am in my TrailheaDX here. So if I go into standard report here, which is accounts by vertical, and I will go into edit, so I can edit this. So before we jump into the row level formula, I just wanted to show you the first thing I mentioned, which was updating the preview. So if you have that switched on, every time you add something to the report, it will keep rippling through and giving you a preview. But if you leave it on the default, which is off, it will not keep updating the preview until you click your refresh button or link, which will show up once you've added your first field or made your first change. Okay, so what I was showing you here is how do you add a row level formula? Well, you may know that how you add a summary formula is you go to where it says columns and you click the drop down here and you add a summary formula. Well, it's exactly the same if you want to add a row level formula. So slightly counterintuitive on the naming. You go to columns if you want to add a row level formula, but that's where it is and that's what it's called. So that's where you're going to find it. And when you click on that, it will open up an interface here where you may be familiar with it. You know, obviously you need to name it, see what kind of output you want. Do you want it to be a number, date, text, etc.? You've got your fields and functions here that you can add on the left. Just for expediency, and to quote Blue Peter of old. Here's one I made earlier. So what I've done here is I've added a row level formula, and I called it same state. So the reason for that is I'm comparing the billing state. Is it the same as the shipping state? If it is, I've told it to put in a 1. If it's not, I've told it to put in a 0. So the reason that you'd probably be doing this is to find where you had missing data, and you might get someone to go and fill that in, or you might have to import something to fill in the missing field. So that would be the reason you'd do this. But basically, this has done a calculation for you, so you can identify everywhere where, you know, say for this, we have Lancashire, we have a 1, but where we have a missing shipping state, then we have a 0. So you can see how that would help you to fix that. Okay, so just to go back to my slides here. So we've looked at disabling the preview. We've looked at row and summary formulas. So the row formula is a bit of a newer feature. And then coming right up to date, we're looking at something that hasn't actually been added yet, but it is planned to be added in winter 21. So again, like people said earlier, this isn't in Salesforce yet, so don't make any purchasing decisions based on this. But what they're planning to add is, and this is great for anyone, if you've ever added a new field, and say you have a custom report type that you haven't added that field to, you have to go and do that manually. Well, as of winter 21, they're planning to add that automatically. So when you've created a new field, it will be added to all the associated report types. So you will no longer have to go in manually to do that yourself. Okay, I know that was a really quick overview, but I'm gonna finish up there and hand back to, who am I handing back to? Luke, is it?
Back to Jonathan.
Back to Jonathan, sorry, back to Jonathan.
Back to myself, not a problem. Thank you very much for sharing that. And it's great to see a live demo of it. Because sometimes it's hard to put into context when you're just giving out a brief summary. So thank you very much. I really appreciate that, and I think it's a very useful feature to be added. So I think that's going to be quite exciting. Again, with everything that's been demoed so far, we've got a lot of exciting things coming. So that is a great way to tie up our TDX Global Gathering today. Fantastic speakers and fantastic demos from everyone, and it really has been quite informative, and I personally have learned a lot myself. With most, well, in fact with all Trailblazer community events, giving back is a big thing. So before we all disappear and go about our day-to-day, we have got being a mentor. So the Trailblazer mentorship is a fantastic scheme that I implore everyone who thinks that they could give something back to the community takes a look at here. And by that I mean apply to be a mentor even if you don't think you can be a mentor. And the reason why I say that is because I personally am a mentor on this scheme, and I know there's a lot of people here on this call today who are, and at the beginning I didn't think I could give anything back. However, looking at the people who I've had as mentees, I've managed to help them not only find their kind of calling and help them with interview techniques and tips and things like that, but also on the Salesforce platform. So it's not just about your hard Salesforce skills, there are soft skills there. So whether you need a bit of help or you want to give back, you can be a mentor or a mentee. So definitely head over to Trailblazer Mentorship and sign up, see if you can give something back, or at least maybe network with someone and get something to help you push your career forward. Giveaway time. So us as the North England user group leaders, all of us have got 3 vouchers to give away. Very luckily, so I have done a random name picker here whilst Claire was talking. We have 3 lucky winners for certification vouchers. Now, those lucky winners I have checked are on this call, so that's even better. If you can email any one of us presenters, we will be able to get back with the voucher code for you. However, the winners are, and this will be a drum roll moment, we have got Matthew Pilkington. Fantastic, congratulations, well done. You are a winner of one of the certification vouchers. We've got Susanna Taylor. Very well done. Congratulations. Let's hope it goes towards progressing your career. And this is what we want to do to help give back. Let's hope that you can do that and pass the next certification. And then finally, we have got Vivek Singh. Very good. Very, very excited for you all. So thank you all very much for RSVPing. You three are the certification vouchers. Give any of us a shout and we'll be able to get those codes over to you. But also do let us know how you get on with those certifications, because we would love to know how you guys are doing when it comes to passing those certifications. So to round up, we have got final part of giving back. If you head over to this URL here, you have a global gathering trail mix that you can complete. Everyone up to a certain amount who completes this trail mix, Salesforce will enter to win a $50 gift card that you can give